the recitation of dua. فليتفضل مشكورا.
النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه الكرام. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك الكريم ولعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتقضي لنا بها جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك أعلى الدرجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Ya Allah, with your mercy and protection, we are able to gather here at this RKUD FYP briefing held by the Secretariat of Usuluddin and Cooperative Region, UDC1. Ya Allah, with your mercy and protection, bless the noble objective of this meeting in stating the agenda planned by the UDC Secretariat and may the plans be a success with your blessing. Make us enjoy that guidance which we do not seek to change, a path of truth from which we do not deviate, a will guide intention which we do not doubt. Let us live so long as our life is spent in your obedience. Adorn us with the adornment of the righteous, and clothe us with the ornament of the pious. In spreading good behavior and striving toward excellence to become better servant of yours. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل واهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا ذلك الفضل من الله كفى بالله عليما. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Thank you to Brother Salahuddin for the recitation of dua. Inshallah tonight we will listen to our department internship briefing from Associate Professor Dr. Cik Amnah binti Bahari, the RKUD FYP coordinator. I hope everyone can pay the attention and be respectful during this briefing session. And please check to ensure that you have mute your microphone to avoid any unwanted interruption or distraction. At the end of the session, there will be a Q&A slot, so you may ask your question then or type it in the chat box. With all due and respect, I would like to invite Dr. Cik Amnah to continue the briefing session. Please welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Thank you very much, Brother MC, for your introductory remarks. I'm not dealing with internship, but Dr. Adibah myself is dealing with final year project. So slightly different internship and final year project. There is no connectivity. Anyway, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm so grateful to Allah Ta'ala for enabling all of us to meet tonight. I'm seeing all my students of the last 2-3 semesters ago. I feel so delighted and I feel so happy to meet all of you again. Hopefully that this year around and this time around all of you are able to do well in your final year project. So I'm sharing with you some of my thought on it so that you may benefit from it. So I'm sharing it right now. So can you see my slide right now, all of you?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay, so I'm going to present right now on the briefing for our FYP briefing session 2, semester 2, session 2020 and 2023 here. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today is already 26 Sha'ban, and we have 4 more days to go. And Alhamdulillah, I think Salahuddin was putting on for all of us to hear Ramadan Kareem from Mahrizin. It really brings a lot of good memories for all of us. Yeah? We are looking forward. Okay, Bismillah. Let's see what we have it here. Okay, what are the content that I would like to share with all of you tonight is a very brief introduction, because I am sure all of you know already what this is all about. But anyway, it's good also to have a question. You may also want to interrupt me if there is some kind of things that you could not understand. Feel free to ask. And then I'll be also explaining what actually the requirement for FYP1, and then the content of what actually FYP1 comprises of for FP1 and also FYP2. And then some topics here for consideration, what actually that you may want to write. And finally, the last one for FYP2, what is there the distinction between FYP1 and FYP2? Yeah, okay. Let's see a brief introduction. A brief one. Okay, all of us know. Yeah, FYP is one of the most critical aspect of the undergraduate degree. Yeah, that is why you are now having some difficulties, I believe, to sign to all this. Yeah. Okay, and that is actually the culmination of the undergraduate program, to show to all of us the culminate yang comes out from the whole program. Yeah. And then it involves the application of knowledge gained through study, experience, and practices together with judgment, so that the proposed approach is effective and efficient. This is a very general remarks on FYP1 and FYP2. Okay, then I move on again to what are the guidelines that we can benefit from this short briefing. Okay, I am now putting, I'm connecting it to the kuliah guideline. So I'm going to end this one, and I'll go to the guideline, yeah, so that you are able to look at it. Okay, this is the guideline. Okay. Right. So you can see here the guideline. I can share with all of you all this presentation, PowerPoint and the attachment later on. Yeah, you can see here this is mentioned in 2020, 2 years ago. Sorry, it's slightly 3 years ago. This is during COVID. Yeah. Okay, what is actually you can see here FYP. Here mentioned 6 credit course, meaning 3 for FYP1, also 3 for FYP2. Yeah, it is a required course, particularly for let's go down here. It states that there you are. Students who are assigned with a study plan of 171 and onwards until 21, until 20, sorry. However, there are few students with a metric number 116 still available and may have been using 171 study plan. They are also eligible for this FYP1, and then continue later on with FYP2. All right, the kuliah has also structured the FYP to convene in 2 semesters. Please make sure that if you know your friends, who are not yet registered for FYP1, though they are already in 4th year, the last final semester, request them to do so, or else they could not graduate nanti. So here, the kuliah has structured to convene in 2 semesters in the form of FYP1 and FYP2, each bearing 3 credit hours. Wallahi al-azim, if you follow accordingly, FYP1 and FYP2, according to your supervisor's advice, meet them regularly, you easily score A. Yeah, it can really pulls out your mark, your CGPA. So here, let's see what is actually briefly for this selection. I'll share with you shortly some of the topics for those who like to write FYP1 to choose in the state of uncertainty, what kind of topic that you want to write, in which area it should be. I have been telling all of you, particularly for those who have sitting with me, research methodology, do not write a topic which is ocean wide. Maknanya you have to really focus on your write-up, because each FYP session covers only about 3 months and FYP2 another 3 months. So you have to consider, discuss accordingly with your supervisor. Okay, let's see the supervision. I move on. And you see, there you go. As a general rule, supervisors should allocate a minimum of 8 supervisory sessions per semester, meaning each session you have to meet, for the whole semester, you have to meet your supervisor at least 8 times. Yeah. As for this semester, it could be hybrid, it could be online like what we are doing right now. It can also be face-to-face. Yeah. And then look at that here, should allocate approximately about 16 hours per week. So banyak tu ya. So you have to take note lah, face-to-face ke apa. Okay, I'm moving on. Roles and responsibility, there you go. What is it? It's all about? You should consulting your supervisor and discuss all aspects of the research according to the agreed schedule, because we do have the chart. We call it as Gantt chart, GANTT, Gantt chart. What are the things that you need to do from 1 week, 2 week, 3. Now already we are in week 3. If it's tomorrow, it's gonna be I'm looking at my calendar right now. Next week, makna tomorrow is going to be week 3 lah, and 23rd is our Ramadan. So at the same time, students' responsibility to monitor your own progress according to the Gantt chart that you have already scheduled. And then a feedback also from your supervisor from the meeting, and then proofread before submission. Please, do not submit yang cincai-cincai, a sloppy job. If you want a good mark, request a little bit your friends to read, particularly who are well versed in English, and you may want to ask them to read through, pay a little bit. And you see, it is worthwhile. I don't send in sloppy job. Right, and then prepare and submit research proposal and final research report following the deadline and according to the stipulated guideline. As for our responsibility as lecturers, supervisor pula, should conduct regular meetings, should guide students, then to monitor students, and also examine and as well as key in students' results in the system. Hopefully that all of us here are able to do accordingly. So as my responsibility pula, there you go, assist student, FYP students as well as assigned supervisors. I'm sure all of you have your own supervisors right now. Betul kan, everybody? Yes?
Yes.
All right, that's good. Seorang je jawab, out of 45 news people. Anyway, I have also to monitor and ensure the planning and implementation of FYP runs smoothly according to schedule, and also collect all evaluation, compile database, and then thesis title. So because FYP 2, inshallah, I'm saying, inshallah, for this semester, we will try to tentatively try to schedule for the whole presentation. I think about 42 also students who are going to be presenting their thought by June, 2nd June, if I'm not, 2nd June. So that is why I start prepare from now. Unless and until it's finalized, I can always share with all of you, inshallah. All right. this is just review conduct and then evaluation. Evaluation is actually 100%. 100% maknanya all in on your write-up. Tapi we do have also rubric. Your supervisor will explain to you later on in how many percentage of the calculation that he or she will be awarding to you according to your own performance. Tengok ni. FYP 100%, FYP 2 also 100%. You see how much is that? You can see students are required to write a simple research proposal for FYP 1. Research proposal, a length of 5,000 to 6,000 words. Approximately about 20 or so pages or even more if you have conducted mixed mode type of research. It could be quantitative or it could be also mixed with qualitative. So therefore it could somebody remove me from the meeting. Why is it so? What happened, Salahuddin? Salahuddin?
I'm not sure.
Somebody remove me from the while I'm doing the presentation. Tapi tak apa, I'll be sharing again with all of you. So you can see right now, all of you.
Yes.
Yes, boleh nampak ya.
Yes.
Strange ya, kenapa pula tengah duk sembang tiba-tiba somebody remove me. Ya Allah. Anyway, tengok ya. For FYP1, carefully listen. So here you need to write, you see 5 points. The first one is on introduction. Maknanya it talks about background, research problem, RQ and RO tu lah ya. Inclusive of the research question, objective, and then research significance and scope of research. And then you have also to do literature review and method. That's it. Atau conclusion and of course lah you punya references for FYP1. So for those who have taken research methodology with me before, you have to do the whole lot. Tapi for FYP1, it is much lighter, only up to literature review sahaja. And also of course method tu very simple. Method usually descriptive analysis or library research sahaja or mixed mode if you intend to do some kind of interview, but if not, it's going to be that way. So please do not procrastinate. Bukra mana tomorrow and tomorrow you khalas finish. So I do not want that to happen to all of you, so please make sure start early. Okay. This is a research proposal pula, should be submitted in week 14 of the semester, and the supervisors will evaluate lah. If you could not finish, you'll be getting IP lah, and can be awarded to FYP1. Failure of FYP1, tengok failure of FYP1 will require a repetition of the course before enrollment for FYP2. I think 2 semesters ago, ada 3 students who do not attend, who do not ni, tapi they register. Khalas, fail. Ambil lagi sekali. So what a waste, wasting your time. Then what are the structure pula? Spacing dia 1.5. You can read it yourself, the template. Nah, ini untuk for the whole lot pula ini, and for expected outcome and reference is actually FYP2. So see Gantt chart semua adalah So I think you can always refer to nanti. Having said this, I move on to my PowerPoint balik tadi. So I was stopping here just now. Okay. Right. So what actually the content, as I have said just now with regard to FYP ni, I have shown to you just now. For FYP 1 is more of introduction plus RQRO, significance, and then followed by literature review. But FYP 2 is more of your conceptual framework as well as your analysis. What need to be done in your analysis, we'll explain shortly. So this is the content, and then what are the topic for those for FYP1? Possible topic that you may want to do later on. So can you see everybody? I'm clicking now. Possible topics with me right now. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I make it bigger. For possible topics, you can see, let's say anything related to Quran. Say for example, Quranic verse that talks about halal riba ke apa, surah apa-apa, whatever related, you may want to write on it. Something related to morality or concept of tauhid, but do not forget, put in context. Narbut bil waqi'. Always put in the context of your discussion. Like ulul albab, how this ulul albab can be used, can be practiced into this context. Is it applicable or not? And then Ibadur Rahman, alladhi yamshu fil ard. How do you explain this? Can it be applicable, particularly with regard to tazkiyatun nafs? And then there are many more, hundreds of terms that you can refer to. Now for ahadith of the Prophet, prophetic ahadith, you can see yourself hundreds and thousands of ahadith of the Prophet. Look at it and make it relevant. How do you explain that the hadith of the Prophet that has been, narrated 1400 years ago, exactly 1444 years ago, can it still be applicable today? So this is where some sample that you may want to look at it. Now, as for under the topic of Sharia, again, it's so wide. You can talk about the hukum, or you can talk about zakah, saum, hajj. What happened during COVID-19, the pandemic COVID-19? In Malaysia, we know very well, we stopped having a pandemic to become endemic in April 2022. But then newspaper today, your newspaper, when I look through, to the end of this year pula. Tapi anyway, it's okay. As long as you can write in that context, that will be wonderful. Discuss your topic properly with your supervisor. And then under the concepts, you can choose whatever concepts you are interested in. Concept of Khalifah, concept of Amanah, concept of Taqwa, concept of leadership, whatever that you come in your mind. You can refer to books, you can refer to all kinds of references. And then you can also study on topic that you may want to write. Say, for example, scholars like all those big scholars of the past, Al-Razi, Al-Maturidi, Al-Sha'ari, whoever, Al-Ghazali, whoever that you have in mind and interested to write in, look at their book. Look at their books, and then you may want to study their thought. Say, for example, Al-Ghazali's thought on shukur, or gratitude. How can you relate this Al-Ghazali's gratitude from his Ihya Ulumuddin to put it into this context to go against this issue of to coping with stress, coping with inflation in economic activities. You put in context. Text, context. So that is why it's very important for all of us to see the method. So discuss again with your supervisor. Then you can choose also under the category of usuluddin. A lot of issues, issues of prophethood, issue of ilahiyah, rububiyah, all that, important topic under usuluddin. And you can also look at the contemporary issues. I was again browsing through this morning a newspaper, PPRT people, those staying in area of what rumah pangsa tu ya. It is said that many residents of that kind of setting would like to has the inclination of committing suicide, probably because of the surrounding, probably because of the nature, being dirty, all kind of things. You may want to work on it. How newspaper reporting from 2020, post-COVID ke, pre-COVID ke, during COVID, you can work on it. Discuss again with your supervisor. And then issue of Islamization. Islamization is a movement up and down with the demise of our great scholar, Professor Allah Yarham, Professor Kamal Hassan. Many contribution has been dig out that he has contributed. You may want to work Professor Kamal Hassan's contribution to Islamization, tapi you can choose one of his book, say for example corruption ke, a concept of wasatiyah ke, look from his article and explain on that, his contribution. Is it relevant or not? Yes, it's relevant. How do you make it relevant? Yeah, will be very interesting. And then relevantization pun macam tu juga. You take anything from hadith ke, from Quran ke, or any book from the scholars of the past, and you write it something which is relevant. Say for example, I think one of your sisters here, if I'm not mistaken, during FIFA, the World Cup tu, LGBTQ tu, she's writing on it based from Twitter. So makna tu making in context, walaupun LGBTQ to something which is haram in Islam, tetapi she managed to, insyaAllah, with this analysis later on, to show that it is haram and how do we cope with it. What are the rules of da'i? That will be interesting also. Now, then issues also that has been raised by people, with this ethicism, with this all kind of things that happen during pandemic, post-COVID, and then postmodernism, all whatever that you think, you may want to choose the topic. Again, if you have some difficulties, I think I have shared with some of you, your friends before, how do we make sure in regards to choose some topic. I'm clicking to all of you. I type, say for example, you are not so sure to write something on any specific topic. So what you do, you just type Google Scholar. Google Scholar. And then if you need more example, for example, okay, I'm clicking right now. Boleh nampak semua? Everybody can see, Yes?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
Okay. Let's say, for example, you want to write something on apa? Inas, are you here, Inas? Inas? I saw Inas' name, Okay, any topic that you like to choose, can you give it to me, one topic? Cakap saja, anything.
Pluralism.
Terrorism?
Pluralism.
Plural. Okay, pluralism, Plural. How do you spell plural? Okay, I just clicking saja. Pluralism in and diversity contohlah, or in education, Look at that. Look at my cursor, tengok. The moment you type, you can see anytime, 2023. Let's say, for example, you want to range it between 2020 up to 2023 sahaja. Search. You can see about 53,600. So if you want to write something on pluralism, you can see here about 53,000. So you said that, oh, madam, I cannot find literature. This is not true. Tengok. It's that easy to find references. So whatever, like if you want to do something on pluralism, you can do some, click on that. If you want to do something on morality ataupun terrorism, ya, sekarang anything to do with Muslim selalu dia kata teroris, ya. Nah, okay, terrorism, cuba tengok tu 10 juta. Nampak? 122,000, you can imagine lah, so that is why it is not that difficult nowadays to choose a topic, but make it in context, and at the same time also must cover research gap. Apa benda pula research gap tu? Okay, let's move on to our discussion. Okay, we have said this possible, so maknanya di sini tengok, in doing our gap, doing our topic tadi, make sure the topic itu contribute to the society. Jangan buat something that people has already done. Buat apa lagi? Kita dah repeat and repeat. Buat apa? We do something that you can cover the research gap. So apa kebendanya research gap itu? See, research gap, it could be in knowledge, it could be in method, it could be empirical, it could be population, it could be also theoretical. So jadi macam mana nak cari gap itu? I have shown to you just now in Google Scholar tadi, ya. So yang ini saya share lagi satu link that you can see here. Tengok, what is research gap? Can you everybody see now my screen now? What is research gap? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yes.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Yeah, good. Cuba tengok apa dia tentang what is the meaning of research gap. Look at that, yeah. Tengok ya, dia kata di sini, if you are a young researcher and still finishing your study, or even still finishing, you probably notice that your academic environment revolve around certain research topic, probably linked to your department, of course lah, interest of your mentor and direct colleague. For example, if your department is currently doing research in nanotechnology applied to medicine, it is only natural that you feel compelled to follow the line of research. That is why just now I have given you something related to Islamization, relevantization, So jadi di sini tengok, many scientists end up continuing their academic legacy during their professional careers, writing about their own practical experience adapting classic methodology. So jadi nak cover research gap tu makna contributing lah something that you want to do. That is why in our research methodology class, most of the time I would refer to a Quranic verses in context. Ingat tak dulu-dulu, hadis in context, COVID in context, so that is why you can contribute, orang kata cover the research gap, Okay, we move on. Research gap are particularly useful for the advance of science in general. But hadith kata whoever can benefit other Muslims, they are the best, Right. So how to find? I have shown to you just now on apa tu? Tadi Google Scholar. Okay, ini we can go through lagi sekali, briefly. Dia kata select a topic or question that motivate you. Satu. Find keywords and related terms of your selected topic. Macam Google Scholar jugalah, Use the identified keywords to search literature. From your findings in the step, identify relevant publication and cited literature in those publications. And similarly, look for topic of issues that are missing. Missing senang sajalah. As I said, sumber kita adalah Quran and Hadith. Thousands and thousands of ahadith which is laid in Sahih Bukhari, compiled by Bukhari, compiled by Muslim, compiled by so many other muhaddithun. Refer to it, make it relevant. There you go, in modern context, So that is why you are able to cover the gaps. Orang lain tak pernah buat, you yang buat. Satu hari Allah Ta'ala will be asking, what have you done with this hadith? So say for example, balighu anni walau ayah. So how do you relate with today's context in this digitization punya issue, in overcoming these fake stories, in overcoming the fitnah? How you may want to use that hadith to explain to people. Okay, and read systematic reviews. So that is how lah kita buat how to find inilah dia. Number one here it says dia dah cakap tadi. So you can refer to this article for you to, so that you are able to do your ni lah your research gap. Okay. Then ni dia maknanya ada risk, ada bridge, ada gap, ada safety. So makna you are covering the jigsaw puzzle tu. That is a simple sentence what actually research gap is all about. Yeah. Okay. I move on. Ini pula project proposal ini outline saya dah sebut tadi, because we have mentioned what is it that for FYP1 that need to be covered for this semester. Number one, introduction, itulah RO, RQ semua tu, and then followed by literature review. 4 or 5 things sahaja that you need to do. So it is very much simplified and very much lighter than when you are doing with research methodology course. Okay, we move on. Now, this is meant for mostly for FYP2. So do it right. Do it right. So before you start this semester, make sure go and meet your supervisors. For those who have not yet met their supervisor, please do so. Edit. The first thing to do, tengok you need to edit your FYP1 write-up. Some of you, particularly for FYP2 candidates, you have already written, and I am sure your supervisor has invited you to discuss where are the loopholes, where are the things that you need to improve, particularly for your literature review, your citation, your references, your transliteration, because most of us here Islamic studies student, you are very special. Wallahi al-azim, because in looking at research, there are two aspects of studies that people are looking to: the content and also the technicalities. Because you are far better than other students, other for human sciences ke apa ke, you are better because of this issue of transliteration. You are the one who guide what simpan, makna you treasuring the hadith, the Quranic verses from Arabic, you transfer it or transliterate into Roman. So nobody who are not trained cannot do it. Wallahi al-azim. So that is why value this, value these abilities, and so apply it immediately. So for my group now, FYP2, I notice some of 2 or 3 who are very good. They are here with us right now. Very good in transliteration. They really observe. Wallahi al-azim, they inshallah you will be successful. For those who have not yet trying to improve yourself. Because this is not a one day punya job. It is actually a practice made perfect. Okay, what next? Develop your conceptual framework. Once you have done your, you have edited, corrected, or you discuss with your supervisor, you need to develop conceptual framework. Now, what is conceptual framework? What is theoretical framework? Dia ada beza. For Islamic studies, concept itu we derive from Quran and Hadith. But from human sciences, they have to develop their own concept. That is why they call it theoretical framework. But for us, we just take concepts. So yallah is not as difficult for all of us. Then number 3, what needs to be done? Write your analysis, findings, recommendation, and conclusion. Take note when you are writing your references, your citation itu, footnote slightly different from the final in the references. Say for example, if you are looking at the citation footnote, you letak reference from retrieve kata atau assess in footnote capital small letter, tapi in the reference it should be capital letter, uppercase. Okay, now I move on to the fourth one. Okay, now briefly, I will not take up time to explain this one. Nanti your supervisor will explain to show all of you what actually this findings is all about. Yang ni penting, sangat penting. Ini findings and discussion. There are a few points that you need to write to think critically about the issue chosen. Sebab dia kata finding ini is often considered the most important part. Ini for FYP2 to develop creative solution and also to formulate a deeper, profound understanding. Okay, macam mana nak buat? Okay, briefly, number one, restating your research problem. Number two, link your finding from literature review that answered the research question objective with the current situation. Remember for FYP1, if you have developed your research question, your literature too should be answering all these three research questions. For FYP2, for undergraduate, 3 research question or 3 research objective. Tapi for masters, 4. For PhD, 5. So while you are writing your literature review, make sure you answered all the RQ tadi or RO. Each of it should be 10. Maksudnya satu research question, it should be 10 literature review. Second research question, another 10. And the third research question should be another 10. Jadi 30. The more the better. Okay, then answer. You see, there you go. Organization. First state the answer, then relevant findings, then cite work of others. You have already done, you have already done your literature review. Rephrase it. Kid be another references from other write-up. Bukan sahaja the one that you have right now, but tapi in the current context. Say for example, your findings said that LGBTQ now are on the rise according to the previous literature, but in today's newspaper, contoh today's NST, New Straits Time, date, today is 19 hari bulan March, stated so and so and so, the statistical numbers indicate that many people who are indulging in LGBTQ practices incur a lot of diseases. Contoh, so mana you affirm with new finding, new literature, new citation. Okay, then if appropriate, refer the reader to a figure or statistic. Or the order of interpreting of each major finding must be follow number 1, number 2, number 3. RQ1, RQ2, RQ3. Itu dia punya organization. Okay, number 2, briefly, I will not be reading it all. Explain the meaning of the finding and why they are important. Kenapa penting? Why you see the increase of these LGBTQ diseases? So how government should be doing? So makna important for all of us to take note so that all this education system should stress that LGBTQ ini apa-apa. And then government pun in term of education kena buat apa. And then the hospital medication also what need to be done. That is why important. Okay, number 3. Provide the deduction, maksudnya apa pengajaran, what are the tadabbur that you can extract. For example, describing lesson learned, proposing recommendation, itu nombor 3. Nombor 4, writing lah conclusion ni apa, the strength of the main argument. Make sure that however the conclusion is not simply repetitive. Luqman, remember these are the question that you asking. Saya ni blur lagi you kata hari tu. So this is what need to be done. 4 perkara ini. So apa lagi, the 5th one, mesti ingat yang ni, technicalities, dia yang ni carry 30 markah untuk technicality saja. So if you do not check you punya language, uppercase, lowercase, footnote, remember for FYP1, FYP2 for Usuluddin student adalah using Chicago citation, bukan APA. Do not confuse. use Chicago citation yang ada footnotes tu. Yeah, please take note. And then references should be 30 and above. Kalau lagi banyak, lagi baik. Itulah dia. Yeah. So I'm giving you some examples, very brief one sebab masa dah agak suntuk. We'll go to you some possible sample yang I thought it is quite good for all of us to refer to. Tengok apa title dia adalah time management. This is a good paper. Yeah. An analysis of Surah Al-Asr versus 1-3 in the context of Pahrul Muhammad Joy Mukmin Professional. So makna this author using Al-Quran for FYP 1 Tengok ambil Quranic term dia dah talking about time management and how the author using in the context of referring to Pahrul Muhammad Joy's Mukmin Professional. So tengok apa dia punya I will not be reading, cuma tengok RQ dia saja. RQ and RO dia, look at that. What is the interpretation according to Mufassirun? What is the content mentioned by Pahrul Joy? And then how relevant? There always ada definition. Dia always ada kalau ada topik tadi, in this case ada dua satu ayat surah, the other one is the book, and then how relevant. Usually are like that. And finally tengok dia punya recommendation dia. You can see here. Tengok dia punya recommendation dia. These are her apa? Mana recommendation dia? There you go. There are 3 suggestion. Dia terus buat suggestion dia. Number 1, time management. Number 2, and then number 3, conclusion dia. And look at her references macam mana. So jadi kalau footnote R ini untuk footnote, it should be capital letter. Untuk footnote, it should be lowercase. Tapi for references, it should be R capital letter. Tengok how she has done her footnote. Tengok mana footnote dia. This is her conceptual framework lah nampak tu. Surah Al-Asr semua actually her RQ1, RQ2, RQ3 Input, title lepas tu content, and then dia punya explanation, and then output dia. So tengok footnote dia, tengok how do you put it properly. It should be done like this. Make sure that it should be tengok my cursor, my arrow it should be like this. Kalau boleh nicely done. Can you see here everybody footnote? Nampak? This is a mistake here. R ini must be small. Tak boleh besar. R lagi satu must be a lowercase. So this is how you do it. A brief one lah. So I guess this is the brief explanation that I'm sharing with all of you tonight on for finding lah for our FYP 1 and also FYP 2. So I end my discussion tonight. If you have anything else that you need further clarification, either you can ask now or some other times after this. Feel free if you need further meetings, say for example a detailed explanation, Salahuddin, I'm ready to assist all of you to have more session so that you will not be in the dark. So if you have problems with your supervisors, problem with your studies, I am ready to assist. So with this, thank you so much. So Ramadan Kareem. أقول هذا أستغفر الله العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So I stop my presentation now so that after this you are able to discuss anything that you want to ask or anything you want to discuss. Feel free. I'm here. I'm all ears now. Okay.
Thank you to Dr. Amnah for the compact briefing session. Now we have arrived to the Q&A session. If the audience have any question to be raised, raised. You may open your microphone and your camera as well, or you can type the question in the chat box. The floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum, Doctor. I have a question.
Alaikum. Yes.
So regarding the presentation on 2nd June,
Yes.
how many chapters do we have to present? Do we have to present the whole paper?
Guideline will be given to you. Do not
Okay.
worry. Because remember, while you are presenting your finals pasal research methodology dulu, it's going to be that way also. Do you remember that you have done your research methodology dulu? The final presentation itu.
Yes.
Macam itulah lebih kurang ya. Yeah,
Okay.
the others, half an hour. Yeah, each students are given is given half an hour's time to present. Dia thought nanti guideline will be given, and you should be doing your presentation accordingly in PowerPoint. Yeah, and then please, before you come to that final presentation, practice dulu in front of your friends. Yeah, be prepared. Jangan tergopoh-gapan, nervous, tak boleh buat apa dah. Yeah, okay. Yes, and any other question? Feel free to ask. Rumaisa is here, isn't it? Any question you want to ask, Rumaisa? Oh yes, sure, I can get. Somebody is asking just now, can we get a copy? Boleh saja, can, no problem. But I do not know how. Are you going to take it? Should I give it to Salahuddin and he will give to all of you atau macam mana?
Give to Salahuddin is better.
Salahuddin, okay. Now another question. I want to know whether in the footnotes, is it necessary to put apa ni? Is it necessary to put what? Cannot understand lah your question.
To put the link of website.
Macam mana?
To put the link of website along.
Oh yes, kena letak lah. What actually that you asking? I'm not so sure lah.
Madam, actually my question is sometimes when I look at my friends' work in their research methodology subject also, some of them put the link of the website in the footnote and also at the references list. But
Yes.
some of them also didn't put the link. So what the difference between these two works?
Okay. Tak betul lah itu je. They have to put both in the footnote as well as in the reference. Itu baru betul. If you do not put it, maknanya you are not explaining the truth lah. Yeah. I notice also while I am explaining to some of your friends, FYP2, particularly literature review. Some lecturers kata, why should we do so many references? 3 je cukup. No. I will say no. If you were to ask me, the more the better. Makna well read. Usuluddin student mesti banyak membaca. It cannot be only 1 or 2, 3 literature and then you jump to conclusion. Tak boleh macam tu. That is why anywhere you go to other universities pun, they will find as many literature review to answer the RQ1, RQ2, RQ3 tadi. The more the better. So, of course, you have to put also the references tadi, citation, in the footnote as well as in the references. You get it, Ali? Muhammad Ali tadi yang tanya tadi. Do you get it?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, madam.
Yes, good. Ada
Thank
lagi
you.
nak tanya? Yes. Anything else? Ada lagi nak tanya? Silakan. We have few more minutes, ya. Anything else?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, good. Carry on. Go ahead.
For my question for interview. So saya kena tunjuk apa nama?
As simple as
Screen dia.
possible. Yes, as
As simple
simple
as possible. Okay.
as possible. Straightforward. Jangan berbulu-bulu, jangan panjang lebar. Orang pun pening. Tanya soalan straight, soalan straight to the point, and then you can explain later. Tapi in
Okay.
writing the question for interview tu pendek.
Faham.
Tak boleh yang all kinds of
Tapi- Saya tengok macam dah straight to the point je. Kejap, saya share. Sekejap. Wait. No, now. Wait. Window 9.
So our brother now is doing mixed mode. Maknanya he is using make it bigger. I cannot see. Make it bigger. He is using descriptive library dengan interview. Make it bigger. Apa nama Arif? Okay. Okay. Kalau macam ini, perkenalkan diri dan peranan di dalam ni. Kita tak cakap macam tu. Kita kata bolehkah Profesor memperkenalkan diri tidak majlis macam tu. Pada pendapat tuan, untuk soalan nombor 2, pada pendapat tuan agaknya siapakah macam itulah, makna you are addressing people, we don't simply buat note macam tu. Jadi kita kena follow dia punya orang kata adab bercakap kan, budi bahasa Melayu kita kan. Okey, adakah pihak tuan pernah bertemu? Ya, macam ni tak apa juga. Apakah pada pandangan tuan sumber utama perlis menyesat macam itulah, apakah pada pandangan tuan? And then bolehkah tuan kongsikan ibarat mahukan teks daripada kenyataan yang diputuskan? Macam itulah lebih kurang. But make it short and direct to the point. Kita tak boleh put a source such a long time. Ayatnya simple saja. Yeah. So I guess that's okay kot. Number 6 daripada kesemua isu-isu yang disesatkan, apakah pada pandangan tuan isu yang melibatkan karamah? Lebih kurang macam tu lah. You reword properly, make it as easy as possible. Orang tu dengar pun tak menggeling kepala, tak ni. Tapi kalau dia tanya, you can repeat. Okay. Right? Itulah caranya. But don't forget, for the benefit of the kadang-kadang the requirement for this course is what to write into English as well. So it is good. You can translate it into English as well.
Yep.
Once you have done this 10 question ini pun dah cukup penat dah ni for whoever nak jawab tadi. Kamilin tadi nak jawab tadi agak penat lah. So itulah get things done. Lepas tu minta permission by the HOD to sign, and then you can make a move lah. So these are thank you Arif for sharing just now. So these are the sample of interview. If you would like to embark a very straightforward short question for interview. If you want to get more data on your write-up, FYP 1 or FYP 2, you can conduct it for doing your FYP 1 or during your FYP 2 based on your own convenience. We could not be saying, okay, must be finished FYP 1, then you can do your FYP 2. Not necessary. You can gain the data while you are doing your FYP 1. For interview, only 4 people is sufficient. You can validate the data that you are searching for based from your own interview that you have recorded, and later on you write a transcribe, word for word. Right? So anything else, Arif?
Tak ada, madam.
Okay, good. So from the floor, anything else that you would like to ask, feel free. Ada soalan-soalan lagi tak nak tanya? Silakan. Tak ada dah ke? If nothing, then I'll go back to the inilah moderator Najmi ke atau apa tadi? Naim, sorry, Muhammad Naim tadi. Silakan. Naim, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you to Dr. Cik Amnah for the session. Now we are at the end of this meeting. Before we end this session, I would like to ask all brothers and sisters to open their camera for a short photography session. And I also would like to invite Brother Khubaib to take a picture. Please welcome. Bismillah.
Barulah handsome Arif. Ni Lukman tak pakai pula topi hari ni.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Done. Okay.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have come to the end the event. We نختتم بهذا واستغفر الله لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We end our meeting tonight with Al-Kafara and Surah Al-Asr.
سبحانك الله وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك أتوب.
Thank you everyone and take care.
Okay, thank
you,
you.
Doctor.
Thank you,
welcome.
Doctor.
Yeah, welcome. See you then.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right. See you then.